Hello, my fellow artist of life, beautiful light of love in this world. Welcome to another video in the art of loving, where we allow love to be awakened within us and then we create from that place of love. And this video is also inspired by a conversation I had with my friend. So if you watched yesterday's video, which was inspired by an experience I had with my friend, today's video is inspired by a conversation I had with my friend. Because we were talking about how our souls come here and we experience such darkness, and then we go on this journey of alchemizing and transforming that darkness in love, and then being able to spread that love. And that is the art of loving. It is seeing darkness and shining light and shining love on it. And when we ask ourselves, we can wonder, why do certain bad things happen to us? And I want to put bad in quotation marks because yes, there are certain bad, horrible things that do happen in every one of our lives, and it is not a competition of who has worse or less worse things. And I put bad in quotation marks just because I do not want to place judgment on anything in this video. I want to see a different perspective of things, and that's why I don't want to minimize any darkness and any pain, but I want in this video for you to see a new perspective. If you are struggling with why maybe something bad or something dark has happened to you or is happening currently to you, or if you're in a moment of darkness, then I want you to see this new, different perspective that was birthed through a conversation with my friend. And so, like I mentioned, me and my friend were talking about how our souls, come here from the place where souls come from, which is a very interesting, different topic that we can talk about, but from that place of source where our souls come from, and we experience certain darknesses in our lives, in our childhoods, especially in our childhoods when we are these pure souls and don't yet have all the resources or aren't taught the resources to be able to handle a lot of the darkness we are met with. And we're talking about how, with this spiritual and healing work, we go on the journey of discovering all of that. But my friend was saying how, a lot of the times there's so much of it, and a lot of the times it's so heavy. Like, it would be so much easier if we just came as pure souls and we're not met with any of that. And I stopped her and I said, you know what? The thing is that if we look at ourselves as who we are today, if we did not experience that darkness, then we would not know the beauty we are in today. And that is why a lot of the time such a contrast of darkness into light is for us to experience, is important for us to experience. Because without meeting that darkness, without going through that darkness, we wouldn't see the beauty that we see today the same way. We wouldn't be grateful for a lot of the small things that we are able to have gratitude for. We wouldn't see the sacredness of life, the holiness of life. A lot of the times it is a journey through the darkest parts of ourselves, the darkest experiences, the darkest hell we might have been through, that now allow us to see the other magnitude of that, which is we see this beauty in a completely different way. We see life in a completely different way. We experience life in a different way because we know what it means to be in such darkness, and we choose to see love, and we are able to experience it differently because we see the depth in it, this the depth in it which we would not have been able to truly see and feel if we had not journeyed through that darkness and that contrast. So that is what I said to my friend, and she did agree with me. And I'd love to know your comments and your feedback and what you think on this topic. But a lot of the times when we are in that darkness, it doesn't feel like there's a reason for it happening. And like I said, I do not want to minimize anyone's pain, anyone's darkness. But with this new perspective, if you ask yourself and take a moment, would you be able to see the beauty you see today if you did not experience that darkness and felt that pain? Because you do not know what it feels like to be warm if you have not experienced the cold. I know with my own journey that I don't think I would feel this level of profound sacredness and love towards life if there wasn't a moment in my journey where I lost that, and I knew what it felt like to be separated from that I now know the profound feeling of being connected with that. And I choose to connect with that every day because I know the importance of what it feels like, the profoundness of it, the beauty of it, the holiness of it, the sacredness of it. And so view moments of darkness in your life as moments of reminders, truly, of reminders of truths. And it is through those journeys, like I said, that we see that contrast. We even see the contrast of what we don't want to be creating. We see that, okay, we had been in such a place of darkness, and we know we don't want to create that. We choose to feel the beauty, to feel the love. And like I mentioned previously, it does not mean that each moment we experience is beauty, but each moment is ours to create beauty from and choose to see beauty in. Because if we choose to see darkness only, then we create more of darkness. But because we know what it was like to stay rooted in darkness and be in it fully, we can be met with darkness but choose to alchemize and create love. And that is the art of loving. In moments of darkness, in moments of pain, we feel it, we see it, we don't bypass it. No spiritual bypassing here. But we don't allow it to pull us back into that darkness, but we allow it to amplify our feeling of love. We allow it to amplify our feeling of beauty, our feeling of sacredness, of divine connection, of divine creation. We allow those moments to amplify us, to spread more love, to spread more light, and that is the art of loving. And I wanted to share that. It's been in my energy to share for a while, so I'm happy I was finally able to sit down and speak this into this video. And like I mentioned, I'd love to have a conversation about this and your perspectives in the comments. And like I said, if you're in a moment of darkness, see that that moment of darkness is yours to choose to create love and light from, and to experience and feel the darkness, feel the heaviness of it, but know that you still hold the power to choose to create love, and that that moment will only amplify your feeling of love and beauty towards life when you allow it to and when you choose to allow it to. So, yes, remember that. Have a beautiful and lovely day today. Like, comment, subscribe to become part of this soul family. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.